Hello, 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 everyone. How are we doing today? It's your boy, Lieutenant Dan, here from Orlando, Florida, live with you guys on Unintentional Grounding, talking about the Atlanta Falcons versus the Cleveland Browns, as well as other news and notes as we continue forward. Thank you guys for coming through. I really appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell if you haven't already, so that you can be notified of our new videos as they come out, as we're able to get to them as we continue to get into more crazy situations. That being said, we've got a little new spot. We've moved from the office. We're here. Hopefully the sound sounds good. Hopefully the view is okay. My dirty laundry in the back over here. I didn't think this through. And I will say hi to everybody in the chat. If you haven't already said hi, please make sure you go over here and say hi. I would love to be able to talk to you guys. Good to see Bravado in the chat, Scars in the building, Chris Edwards. Good to see you, my man. How are you doing in Florida right now, bro? Was it rough in your area? I guess, Hurricane Ian did come through. It did kind of smash us into 100 pieces. We're doing good here. I live on the East Coast, so a lot of the big time damage happened on the East Coast. Now Fort Myers is completely just like gone. There's a couple other places too. Tampa got spared. Tampa was there. Tampa suddenly, it's all good. Raymond Elder, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. Hope you're doing well. Oh my goodness. Yeah, lots to talk about. Let's get into it as we continue to go on. But yeah, just letting you guys know, we're good here in Florida. I live on the East Coast, near Daytona. Daytona is still underwater. My job has just told me that it's going to take about a week and a half for them to kind of get settled. So they're going to start taking orders out of our store in Daytona, and we'll have to do run backs back and forth between my store to people within Daytona to be able to provide them with essential service. Been growing the beard out so that you guys can have the full effect of the Yukon Cornelius beard. Looking good. And then also, on a side note as well, I've been just slacking on these videos, man. You guys need to call me out on that. I'm slacking on these videos. But turbulent times as we deal with what's going on with the hurricane, the damage it's left over, and unfortunately just not having a lot of time. Most of my time is spent with family, making sure people are okay, and then going from there. I hope everyone else in the chat is doing well. If you're from the state of Florida, please make sure that you give us a little shaka shaka. And if you're not from the state of Florida and you're from GA, then you must be a Braves fan, because the Braves, clap them Mets, boy. Clap them Mets. Took the Mets, just swept them. Swept them. 3 games. Bop, 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 bop. Put them away. Put them away. That's 100 games. That's 100 games, by the way, that the Braves have won. Just saying. Just saying. I'm not bragging or nothing. No braggadocious nature here. Just saying. Just doing what we can do. Right. Fuck the Mets. Anyway. Let's say hi to everybody that's in the chat. Hello, chat. Chat, make sure you say hello for all the people that are just joining. Tell the people on YouTube that you're saying hello. Hello, people on YouTube. Let's say hi. Chris Edwards, Raymond Elder, Stealth Mode TV in the building. Joe Padua in the building. Woon Carter in the building. James Olberton in the building. Good to see everyone here. Really appreciate you guys. There's more to come, and there are more people probably going to kind of scurry their way in. But if you haven't already, make sure that you hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell. Make sure that you send this out and share this to the Twitter and tag me at UNGR_show on Twitter. And I would love to hit that heart button and then also retweet that as well. It helps get people in here and we can talk a little bit about this Falcon situation. Okay, all right, let's get to it. I know everybody wants me to go ahead and get to it. Do you or do you not bench Marcus Mariota? We talked about this before. we've talked about this in a couple different scenarios, but where are we now with the Atlanta Falcons, and where are we now with Marcus Mariota? We almost beat the Saints. We almost beat the Rams. We ended up beating Seattle, and then they just destroyed whoever they were playing, Detroit. And then we end up beating the Browns. Okay, all right. I know it's without Clowney and without Myles Garrett and boo boo boo. Okay, let me just go ahead and tell you, all the talking heads have two particular little things that they're going on about. All those 4-letter networks and all those places, they're talking about two things about the Falcons. Okay, they're talking about two things. One, the Browns should have scored more points. You're absolutely right. The Browns definitely should have scored more points, except wrong. You did not observe the Atlanta Falcons defense going out there and making crucial stops when they needed to make crucial stops. So I'm just saying. I know y'all are probably thinking it. I know I am. But I know y'all are thinking it. We're probably just like a nose tackle and another 3-tech defensive tackle away from being pretty strong. Hmm. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, boys. Okay, number 2. The other narrative that the lettered networks are talking about on the this, that, and the third, the ESPNs and the NFL networks and all these little podcasts on there on Spotify, they're talking about the Atlanta Falcons are a wacky, kooky offense that doesn't even need to throw the ball in order to be effective. So what would happen if they put an effective quarterback in that's not Marcus Mariota? I'll wait, because I know y'all have something to say, but I'm just saying that if Marcus Mariota suddenly disappeared and just, oh no, had a clipboard in his hand, oh, not the clipboard, and the headphone, oh no, then I feel like Desmond Ridder, despite obvious, and this is just really obvious, the obvious struggles that he'll have day one. Let's just be honest. Y'all be honest with me. I'll be honest with y'all. We know a rookie quarterback that gets started, even if they're better, more talented than a Marcus Mariota, who hasn't had any play time in the NFL outside of some preseason games, and that's against string 2 and string 3, okay? They're going to struggle. They're going to struggle mightily. So let's not lie to ourselves and pretend that Marcus Mariota, even though he's not good, doesn't have experience in those moments and at least has the knowledge and awareness to be able to play at that level. I'm not using this as a benchmark for where Desmond Ridder needs to be, or to inflate you guys with confidence or try to deflate your confidence. What I'm trying to just point out here, which is just a straight fact, no one can even begin to argue it, is that if Desmond Ridder was as good as advertised and was doing what he needed to do to be the starting quarterback and was obviously better than Marcus Mariota, no matter what promises there are, then why isn't Desmond Ridder starting? There's an obvious reason why. Now, I'll let you guys say that reason, whatever you want to say. But Arthur Smith obviously is using Mariota as a buffer to allow Desmond Ridder as much time. This is the only one that makes sense. This is the only thing that makes sense. As much time as they possibly can give Desmond Ridder before he's basically the starter. Do you agree or do you disagree? Because I'm having a discussion with you. You're watching on your phone, you're watching on your computer, you're watching on your TV, you're watching on your tablet, wherever you're catching this right now. And you and I are having a conversation. Wouldn't he be starting currently regardless of any other things, if Desmond Ridder was so good that he was just could not miss, he was ready to make it happen. He was ready to go. This is not cock blocking Desmond Ridder. I know people don't want to hear that language, but that's the real language. This is not a buffer to stop Desmond Ridder from starting and making Marcus Mariota play 2, 3, 4 more games. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying, obviously, Arthur Smith doesn't trust Desmond Ridder to do what needs to be done in order to play at the starting position. It's just the facts. That's the honest truth. If there was any other thing, then it would have to be promises kept to Marcus Mariota that he would start this many games, and if he won this many games, then he would keep playing. But this is as strong as you can get to saying, well, 7 passes completed. Raymond Elder, great shot up here. 7 passes completed out of like what, 19? Like 19? Let's just make sure that I have that correct real quick. I just want to make sure that I have that correct for anybody who's currently listening right now. Let me just make sure that I've got that correct. Okay. Yeah. Marcus Mariota, 7 of 19, 131, and an interception. So you tell me. You tell me. What did I say last week? What did I say last week? I'm grabbing my drink. I dropped my drink. What did I say last week? What did I say last week? If any of you guys are paying attention to any of these live streams, what did I say last week? 10 points to the person who gets it right. 10 points to the points who get 10 points to the person who gets it right. What did I say last week? I said last week, there will only be one reason why this team is failing, and they want to make sure that that one reason is the only thing that stops them from starting Desmond Ridder. What is that one reason? Chat, type it in. Type it in now, chat. Type it in. Type in the answer. Type in the name. Type in that name in this chat right now. I want to just see it going flying up there. Type in that name. What's the one and only reason why Desmond Ridder is currently not starting? And the one and only thing that they have to make sure is the problem to make sure Desmond Ridder starts. It's Marcus Mariota. It's Marcus Mariota. If everything else is working and Marcus Mariota is still playing at a poor level, that will be the determining factor in getting Desmond Ridder to start. Everything else has to be working, though. Think about that for what I said. Think about that and what I said. The only issue with the team must be Marcus Mariota. If Marcus Mariota is not the problem and there are other problems going on at the time, even if Marcus Mariota is the problem and other problems are happening at the same time, they will not let Desmond Ridder play. I promise you that. I promise you that. How's the offensive line look, guys? Talk to me about that one. How does the offensive line look, guys? Looking pretty decent, right? Ian, what's going on, man? Good to see you, buddy. O-line's looking pretty good. Even McGarry. Even McGarry. Even McGarry. Okay. Running game's looking pretty good, right? Running game's looking pretty good. Okay. All right. Okay. 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 That's only two things, Dan. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Now, I'm not saying this is looking good, but I am saying that we have seen a taste of what Drake London and Kyle Pitts can do, and what Zacchaeus can do, and what our running backs can do catching the ball. So, pass game, I don't think is a problem. Talk about special teams for a second. How we been doing on special teams? Coup, kicking it straight through the uprights. Not a problem. Not a problem. Punting. Did you know that we have only punted on 19% of our snaps? Now, that may have changed this week, but leading into this week, we had only punted on 19% of our snaps. And 40% of our snaps ended in scoring drives. Now, that might have changed. That might have changed. However, can I get an amen from everybody in here talking about defensive turnovers? Woo! boy. We're talking about turnovers that have happened when they needed the turnover. Not when they wanted the turnover, when they needed the turnover. Not when they were like, hey man, we need I want to get a random fumble right now. I want to get like a random a sack right now. No. No stat padding. No stat padding. Only when they've needed it the most have they gotten it. Back-to-back games. Can I also say, we're not sacking quarterbacks like crazy. We're not. We need a nose tackle. We need another big body, 3-tech, 4-eye kind of guy on the other side of Grady. We got a couple of edges that have some promising stuff, but you can always add more talent there. There's nothing wrong with that, especially since we're playing a 34. You're playing with outside linebackers, basically. And I know we could definitely do with a CB2, and we could definitely do with some better linebackers. Don't even get me started. I see some great talent on the field. Walker's doing absolute amazing stuff. Evans is just trying to hold it together, man. Like that, he's at the end of his stuff. But all together, regardless of all the issues, all together, can I get an amen and I rise up? That when we've needed a turnover, it has happened. Yeah. Yeah. I know. Making too much sense. You calm down. You relax. But special teams do be looking good. And the defense does look like it needs pieces, but it's looking good. It's looking okay. It makes the plays when it needs to make the play. Okay? All right. Cool. But can I also say that the only person left that's holding this team even slightly back is MM? Can I get an MM in the chat, please? One from everybody in the chat, all 22 people right now, MM in the chat. The only thing that's holding us back is MM because of his turnovers, because of his lack of ability to get the ball down the field. I don't care if they play 30 guys back there trying to stop the pass. You gotta have something open up, right? You gotta be able to place the ball somewhere, right? You gotta be able to put the ball somewhere, right? So here's my dilemma. Here's my thing. The Falcons are 2-2. They're fighting for the top of the division right now. The Saints look like, well, yeah, we should have beaten them. They look like, ugh. And then there's the Panthers. Okay. But the thing that really gets me is Tampa is not destroying people. Tampa looks like it sounds like, it feels like, let me sing it for you. F is for friend. No, they look trash, man. They look trash. They look trash. They do. In games where teams come and they punch Tom Brady and the I almost called them the Patriots and the Buccaneers in the mouths, then they just don't seem to know how to go 5 rounds, 3 rounds, whatever it is. No, I'm not saying the Falcons are in their same league, but let's just put this into perspective here. An angry, pissed off, excited Falcons team who only has one issue compared to all the small stuff that is happening currently as well. Let's not, yes, I know Walker is not blowing it out of the water, but Walker's making plays when he needs to. The interceptions are coming when they need to. The sacks are coming when they need to. The stops, the punts, they're coming when they need to. Special teams is making plays when it needs to. The running game works when it needs to. We can run 14 straight times and get a touchdown if we want to. So I'm going to just say this. When it needs it, it gets it. Okay? When it's playing a bad team, going to murder it. Hey. Against really good teams, we're going to be losing some fingernails. We're going to be losing some fingernails. Because and honestly, this is just straight up. We're going to be playing some tough nose games coming up. But when is the good time to start Desmond Ridder? Next week, week after that. Every single one of these games, and we know this. We're not stupid. We're not stupid fans. We're not stupid fans that jump the shark and start going, well, you could just play him whenever. We know that a Desmond Ridder is going to struggle in his first game. How quickly he gets over their struggles is the key. But you're not just going to start him against the Bucs. You're not just going to start him against San Fran. You're not just going to start him against Kansas City. You're not going to just start him against some of these teams we're going to be playing soon. Okay? It's just you will have to pull the trigger eventually. But if Desmond Ridder is not good enough to beat Marcus Mariota in any given week for the job, then there's obviously a reason why they're holding him back. That's why I keep saying, if Marcus Mariota is the only issue and everything else has been shored up, by the way, we're one of the least penalized teams in the league after being one of the most penalized teams in playoffs. Or excuse me, in the preseason. We were one of the most penalized teams in the preseason, but we are now one of the least penalized teams in the regular season. Big. But one thing, there's more. Burton VDP, man. Oh my goodness. Look, do you see this guy down here? Do you see this dude? This guy right here is a legend. Just this dude right here, legend, legendary status, Mike. Absolute legend. Look at the way we're playing and look at the people that we're about to play. How do you start Desmond Ridder? It's so difficult. How do you feel about that? How does anybody in this room feel about this? How does anybody in this virtual space currently watching their phone or on their computer or wherever you're at with your tablet on the toilet, taking a shit? I don't know. I don't know where you're at. But what I'm saying is, when do you start a Desmond Ridder? When do you start a Desmond Ritter? Because if Marcus Mariota doesn't look very good and we start getting blown out, do you play Desmond Ritter next week? Do you start him the week after or week after against Carolina? I mean, the question is, how do you structure getting Desmond Ritter in there? You do have little things to fix, but how much longer do you hold it? If we're, I don't know, if we're 7-2, do you let Desmond Ritter start? Again, this is not me trying to rush Ritter, but he's obviously special enough that they're keeping him as the guy that they want to push for 2023. Right now, we're picking 12th in the draft. Yeah, I know, it's only 4 weeks in. We're picking 12th right now. That's how crazy it gets when you add 1 game extra to the NFL season. In 12th. Whole league's average right now. What we won't see anybody really pulling away until week 5, 6, 7. 6, 7, 8, actually. On gadget plays. I've already heard that one too, VDP. I've already heard that too. I've already heard the whole bit about, okay, so how about we just run a 2-quarterback system? Marcus Mariota becomes an extra running back. Okay, I've heard that one before. But I think my old doctrine is, and I think this is the same with Arthur Smith, is the quarterback is the quarterback is the quarterback. I don't need too many cooks in the kitchen. And if the flames are too hot, you better get out of that kitchen. So obviously the flames are a little too hot for Marcus Mariota because he can't keep the ball. So do I want to put Desmond Ritter in? Absolutely. I want to put Desmond Ritter in as just much as anybody else in here. But does it work? Now, I like what Skywalker Jr. just said. And please, I'm not making fun of you, but I'm just saying, like, I've been asked this question before. These last 2 days have been trying. But Mike Tomlin pulled the trigger on Pickett this week, and we don't have to be as quick to rush it, but it should happen against Carolina if it continues to sabotage this team. First of all, let's be careful about our vocabulary and using things like sabotage, because Marcus Mariota obviously is not trying to sabotage intentionally the team's record. Oof. But could Desmond Ritter start by next week or the week after? If we're in a, if we're in a tight game and Marcus has thrown like bad interception or something, and Arthur Smith's gonna go, that's it, I'm gonna punish you. We're gonna run 14 times. And Desmond Ritter comes up and is like, Coach, listen, I know you're gonna tell me no, but I'm gonna stand up for this and say, fuck Marcus Mariota. Start me. Just gets real close to his ear. He's just like, fuck Marcus Mariota. Marcus Afriota. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just coming up with all kinds of crazy names now for Marcus. Look, if a Desmond Ritter comes up to a Arthur Smith and goes, fuck Marcus, let me start. Fuck Marcus, let me start. What's the worst I'm going to do? Throw an interception like Marcus? Or throw a tutty? And the moment he throws that tutty, you know that Art's going to come over to him and be like, let's go, baby. Because the thing is that we all know that Marcus is a very special player, but we know that Desmond Ritter is he's on another he's on a level of special that I think every single one of us has had to now step back and think about, because there will be struggles, like I've said before. But I don't think they're going to be the struggles that you and I believe are going to be the like downfall of Desmond Ritter. Probably more likely than not, a Desmond Ritter is going to end up being like Desmond Ritter is going to be like, I can go out here, I can perform, I make some mistakes, and builds upon each week, versus like 2-3 weeks of Desmond Ritter looking like he's lost deer in the headlights. Go back and look at that game against Georgia, and I'll tell you right now, if the velocity, if the arc on those balls, velocity is the wrong term, but using the arc on the ball, if those balls got over the top of these defensive players, and I'm not taking anything away from UGA absolutely outplayed Cincinnati, but if Desmond Ritter had been given an opportunity, if he had placed those balls a little bit better, I don't know if Georgia would be celebrating their first national championship. It might be Alabama. I I I have this crazy, like, I'm not even looking at hindsight's 2020. Well, if he had made all his throws. No, I'm saying the ones that got absolutely batted down. I'm scared to know what the future would have been if Ritter had actually put those balls in the right place. Like, they had missed those fingertip blocks. Because boy, oh boy, let me tell you, those things could have gone for touchdowns, each one of those. So it will be mistakes like that that we'll have to kind of get used to. But I feel like, man, we're in such a better place than we were. It's really, really honestly, just a better place. If we were 0-4, I would be looking at this team and being like, I get it. It's okay. I mean, I would be banging the table for Ritter. I'm banging the table for Ritter right now. We're 2-2. So I can't compare what Mike Tomlin has done in Pittsburgh. Kenny Pickett running in 2 touchdowns, but not really looking like a crazy good thrower of the ball. With Mitch Trubisky there, who's a bad QB, versus Marcus Mariota, who actually can run and become a threat in the running game. And that's something that we have to give props to Marcus Mariota. I don't care what you think, but it does keep linebackers, like I said earlier this year, on their toes and aware, and keeps them closer to the box. And they're not allowed to just go away and run. Because when we actually do play real hard play action, we usually get a 20 or 30 yard gain, which is pretty interesting because Desmond Ritter is just in love with those kinds of throws right over the middle. Again, Drake London hasn't really been used. Kyle Pitts hasn't really been used, even though one of them already has a touchdown now. And so I say to you, the chat, to the people that are the Falcons fans, or not Falcons fans, but are just interested in the discussion, I think Desmond Ritter's time will come sooner than later. But let's appreciate these small moments, these steps towards getting Desmond Ritter there. Because once Ritter is under center, once he's the guy, once he's been given the keys to the kingdom, that moment's gone. You don't get that again. So, and then who knows? Bernhard might actually be catching passes over Zacchaeus, but who knows? Believe in Kadero Hodge. True. Kadero Hodge hive. So let me just kind of say it like this. And it gives you kind of more of an idea of where I think this team is going. And just the videos that I'm going to be trying to make over these next couple of weeks is, if you can get Drake London and Kyle Pitts with Zacchaeus, Bryan Edwards, whoever's catching the ball, if you can get the passing game going, the run game becomes incredibly difficult to stop with guys like Algier, and Huntley. By the way, can I get a shout out from everybody in the chat to Caleb Huntley, bro? Can we just stop for a second and go, he got the ball 8 straight times and got a tutty. I'm saying start the man. I mean, the dude kind of just destroyed the Browns. I mean, that offensive line did absolute work. Oh, goodness grief. Chris Lindstrom was out there like pancaking people on the ground, turning them into sawdust, bro. But like, oh my goodness, bro. Caleb Huntley was like, woo! Hey. That doesn't mean he starts over my boy Algier, though. Algier be pulling people for 15 yards. Can we just for a second appreciate Algier pulling a dude for 15 yards? Like, what? Like, oh my goodness. We got a heck of a running group. This makes me want to add more to it, you know? I just want to get another big physical back. Just another dude that just bruises people. Just be like, you know what? No one's the lead back. Just whoever's got the hottest hand, go out there, pound them. I don't care. Run it down the throats. Whatever. It doesn't matter. Run through them. Leave a hole, a man-sized hole in between these people. Just like plow right through. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. JJ the Great, what's going on, my man? Rise up, stay grounded. Has anybody in here not gotten a hello today? I'm just too much of a nice guy, and I just want to say hi to everybody that I possibly can. So I'm going to go back up to the chat, top of the chat. If you haven't already said hi, please make sure that you do in the chat over here, man. You know, it's good to see you guys come around, and I just want to make sure everybody's safe and good and, you know, all that good stuff. So let's go to the top. Let's go to the top. Okay. Ian, Blizz, James Olberton, Joe, Skywalker, Paul Phoenix. Good to see you, man. Chris Edwards. Let's see. Burton VDP. Play stats. What's going on, dude? Let's see here. Blizz, what's going on? Hey, how's it going? Goodness. Let's see. Jack is in the building. What's up, Jack? I have always said this name wrong. A's World, Ivesy's World, Abby's World. Welcome back. I've always said this wrong. TJC, what's going on? Bubba Gump in the building. Let's go. How you doing, buddy? Goodness. Chester shot fries. Lorenzo Carter and Arnold E. Great pass rushers, absolutely. Joven, what's good? Good to see you. We're gonna need Pitts next week against Tampa, bro. We need Pitts every game, bro. Don't ever. I want to say this to everybody in the chat. I want to say this as something that I always have felt is very, very important as a fan. Don't go to your favorite streamers or to your favorite, news article writers or, reporters or players or other fans in general. The chips. Chester's hot fries. Yes. Chester Cheeto. Hot fries. Yes. Don't go up to other people and be like, man, we're going to need Pitts next game. No shit. Yeah, of course we're going to need Pitts next game. What? We're going to need Pitts every game. We need somebody to get Pitts the ball. See, now, JJ, now we're talking. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Hits blocked flawless yesterday. Mr. Beasley in the building. Mr. Beasley in the building. Let's go, son. Let's go. Good to see you, buddy. We can beat the Buccaneers. Have to play good on offense and defense. You did miss one, Hot Fries. You did miss one. Special teams, too. Oh, no. Oh, no. Salty Dan. Desmond Ridder may start against the Niners. That would be good. We need more Kadarrell Hodge. Try to do like a breakdown video. We're trying to do a breakdown video on Kadarrell Hodge. Is that what we're trying to do, TJ? But yeah, man. Yeah. Definitely interesting how fare against a notoriously stout run defense teams in the Bucks. Gonna need some completions in Tampa. We're gonna need some touchdowns too. Yeah. And we're gonna need to make sure that we dress for the game as well. That's very important. We are the graphics in the drive. Heard. Imagine if Oliver locks down Julio in the slot. Imagine if Oliver plays. Speaking of Beasley, anyone else notice how he just disappeared off the face of the earth? No, because I didn't notice he was even around. I didn't. No, I didn't notice him. I feel bad for Vic, and I hope that he gets any mental help that he needs, as well as just honestly, get some people around him to support him. Hopefully, he's doing okay. Mariota knows he has to improve that passing game. It looks cringy at times. I'm telling you, Desmond Ridder's going to start, and those of you that are getting in here late miss the real good part about this. This is why you guys got to get in early, man. Turn on those noties. But like, these guys they're Desmond Ridder. He's going to be in. He's going to be in soon. There's no excuses for him not to be, and there's every excuse in the world for him not to be. It's a little bit of both. And to look at Desmond Ridder and to say, he should start right now, or Marcus Mariota should improve, I think are the two sides of the same coin. Where we go, if you take Mariota out, your ability to run with Desmond Ridder is less than what Marcus Mariota can do. And then Marcus Mariota can't throw the ball like Desmond Ridder can. So it's a give and take. Do you sacrifice some of the ability to scramble and move? Because Desmond Ridder is not a scrambler like that. He can run, but he's not like that. And on the opposite end of the spectrum, you can't throw the ball at all. So, I would much rather have Desmond in now, but I don't think it's time to start him against the Bucks, especially against a pissed off Brady who just lost a game. And honestly is looking like an old lady, man. Like, the guy looks like he's lost his battle with cancer. And I'm just like, is this guy okay? What's going to happen when this dude retires? Is he instantly going to be like one of those Benjamin Button things where he turns old and dies like immediately? Like, Tom Brady literally, I'm not even, no jokes at all. It's kind of scaring me because the guy looks like he's going to croak when he finishes. And it's just bothering me. It's really bothering me. It's like, bro, you're looking like Skeletor. That's not good. That's not good. Anywho. All right, guys, listen. If you guys want to keep this particular discussion going right now, we're going over to Twitch. Twitch.tv/gamingwith_LTDAN. I am going to go over there and go play some Apex Legends, as well as go to play some NCAA 14 Revamped. We'll probably go play that as well. If you guys want to come on over and come support me over there and come chill, more than welcome to. Love to have you over. We're going to end this stream right here because beating the Browns, it means something. But talking about what happened during the game and what happened to the Browns doesn't mean jack diddly, because we're on to the next week. We really are. Potential videos coming out this week. All depends on whether or not we are going to be live. I will talk to you guys later. Peace, hair grease. I'll see you guys on Twitch. Oh, man. Crazy day.